Week's G.I. Joe toy review, where we are in the midst of Women's Month. So we are actually looking again at another version of Scarlett. This time is the Air Force Uniform 25th Anniversary Scarlett. But before we get to Scarlett's review, let's do our weekly shout-outs of Back to the Media or at 48 South Loudon Street here in lovely Winchester, Virginia. And okay, and it's where you can get all your video game needs and whatnot from the Atari all the way up to current systems. Sorry, I had a momentarily mental block, but it's all right. But go ahead and check Back to the Media for all your video game needs. Then you can go to Time Traveler Toys and Collectibles, right there at 115 South Loudon Street, just right down just literally like diagonal from Back to the Media, where you get all kinds of toys and collectibles. I got some of my retro line figures from there that I have in my collection, which a lot of them, the Baroness I reviewed at the beginning of this month, and there's some more coming on later on down the line. I did my Snake Eyes retro line Snake Eyes. What was it like last year that I had picked up from Time Travelers? But I got some Transformers there also. Um, and as well as some other stuff. But Time Travelers is a good store. I did a walkthrough video for them a couple weeks back, so go ahead and check that out. Or a couple months back, so please check that out. I also did I also like to shout out Four Color Fantasies at 80 Weems Lane. And you can get all your comic book needs there, from Marvel to DC to IDW, back issues, current titles, and all points in between. So yeah, go ahead and check them out. And if you need any form of counseling, go see Healing Grace Counseling Services, owned and operated by Dr. Robert C. Brown, which he'll tell you he's not a doctor, but he plays one on TV. But he's a cool dude, good guy to listen to. If you need premarital counseling, marital counseling, or your run-of-the-mill, everyday, my life sucks counseling, he's there to listen to, give you some sound advice, give you a new positive Christian spin on how to look at life. So go ahead and check him out. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to our new sponsor, so to speak, Bank of Clark County, which you can find here in Clark County, Virginia, right in Winchester, the Winchester area. Very good bank to go to. They got great service, awesome employees, very good staff. It's a very good bank to go to. I deal with them. So it's pretty cool. So, and being that it's Women's Month, I like to do the whole monthly shout out, like I've been doing on every other video, to all the women out there in the world that deal with healthcare, food service, military, and all that kind of stuff. I like to shout you all out because you guys deserve a lot of recognition. Thank you all for being here and being a part of our world. Us guys wouldn't know what to do without you. But thank you all so much, and let's get on to Scarlett. Starting with her file card, where it says Counterintelligence, codename Scarlett. Better than the one that said Agent last time on the last file card I looked at. And it says Counterintelligence, codename Scarlett. File name O'Hara Sharna M. Alias is Glenda Jane McGullen. Or Mulligan. Primary military specialty, intelligence. Secondary military specialty is a pilot. Birthplace is Atlanta, Georgia. Grade is an E5. And the text reads, Scarlett first learned martial arts from her father and three brothers who are martial arts instructors. She began her training at age 9 and was awarded a black belt at the age of 15. She graduated summa cum laude from 2 Ivy League universities and went on to excel in training courses at the 4 branches of the armed forces. The Cobra organization often mistakes her for just another pretty face, rather than a member of the elite G.I. Joe team, which makes her perfect for undercover missions, on which she uses various aliases. She is a naturally gifted pilot who was flown in some of the most advanced military aircraft in the world, and is one of the G.I. Joe team's helicopter pilots. Quote at the bottom says, "Beauty may be only skin deep, but lethal goes to the bone." Good quote for Little Miss Scarlett. I kind of like that, and it gives a little bit more of an in-depth uh, look into Scarlett's character through 3 different file cards. You get 3 different looks at Scarlett, which I think is totally awesome because it really shows how badass she really is. But let's take a look at her figure stand. Upraised G.I. Joe logo, codename Scarlett on the front. She's also got her infamous crossbow. She's got her little silver hand pistol, which wasn't involved in the comic 2-pack, but still good. This one adds to it with 2 other pieces. First off, her backpack, which fits in the little hole in her back with that little peg right there, and her pilot helmet, which is pretty cool. You know, most people remember Scarlett in the first episode of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, 5-part miniseries with her coming out of piloting one of the Sky Strikers. But this is her with her hair pinned back, blue and white, 2 different tones of blue, and with white on her piloting uniform or outfit. You know, which is a cool look. White gloves with the white little patches, blue sneakers, which is actually a pretty cool looking jumpsuit with the blue and white. I kind of like gets away from the leotard she wore through most of the series. So it's a pretty nice looking figure. Look wise with the paint apps, I like how it's done. It's really, really excellently done. Let's take a look at her articulation. Her head does rotate the full 360. It's a little hindered by the parachute pack and outfit. Her arm can lift to about here. Rotate the full 360 all the way around. She does bend at the elbow. Rotates all the way around. And her whole gauntlet can spin. She does have the ab crunch feature, but it's not noticeable with the jumpsuit. Her legs can almost do a split. Her leg can kick about so high. And a single knee joint. And her ankle does pivot, as well as swivel. You know, full 360. That's her in her articulation. So let's take a look at her all geared up. So here's Scarlett in her uniform. You know, pretty geared up. I like the way this ensemble looks, especially with the helmet. Nice little touch, except for it does pretty much hide her face, but you got to basically adjust it right. Get a good look at her face. This is a Scarlett that wasn't a vintage figure, but I would have loved to have seen it. As a vintage figure, I probably would have owned it. So, unfortunately, there's no ACC 788 or Form BX257 or Joe Motion Videos 82 videos on this version of Scarlett, because this wasn't a vintage figure. It is a 25th anniversary figure. But it's a pretty cool looking Scarlett. I'm glad it's with us. You know, you could probably see some other videos on this figure. If you look, I can't recall any of the names off the top of my head, but go ahead and check them out. If they have it, you know, get more opinions than just mine. I would rank this as a top tier figure, just because it's a Scarlett and it's actually looks pretty cool and actually gives more of an in-depth, kick-ass bio on Scarlett. So yeah, definitely this will work in anybody's collection. So go ahead and purchase this and add it to your collection if you want to. I would highly suggest that you do. This has been Scarlett, so I will see y'all in the next one. Watch for our last female Transformer and female G.I. Joe figure. And we are ending the G.I. Joe Women's Month on another retro line figure. I started it up early and I'm ending on a retro, and I ended it on a retro. So it's pretty cool. Tune in next week to watch it, you know, and tune in next time. This has been Cobra Island with Air Force 25th Anniversary Scarlett. Peace, see y'all, and now you know, and knowing is half the battle. See you in the next one.